He was the most formidable pilot in the United States during World War II. Flying a bomber, he single-handedly sank 4 Japanese aircraft carriers and led the U.S. Navy to a successful victory over the Japanese forces, creating a miracle in the history of naval warfare. After the Battle of Midway broke out in 1942, the pilot immediately led Bombing Squadron 6, taking off from the USS Enterprise and swiftly heading toward the target location. Half an hour later, Bombing Squadron 6 spotted the Japanese aircraft carrier formation at an altitude of 14,000 feet. The pilot immediately ordered an attack, and dozens of bombers began diving rapidly. Seeing this, the Japanese forces activated their anti-aircraft guns, firing wildly at the U.S. bombers. The dense gunfire sank one bomber after another. When diving to 2,000 feet, the U.S. bombers dropped a bomb, but unfortunately, it missed its target. The pilot immediately organized a second wave of attacks, and this time, the bomb successfully hit its mark, sinking a Japanese aircraft carrier. Subsequently, the pilot led the remaining 3 bombers to launch an attack on another Japanese aircraft carrier. Relying on his superb flying skills, the pilot flew through the dense gunfire, shut off the engine, and began a vertical dive. At that moment, the Japanese aircraft were in the process of reloading torpedoes and had no time to take off and engage. When the pilot 1,500 meters, he dropped the loaded bomb, instantly destroying the aircraft carrier and reducing countless aircraft to ruins. Afterward, the pilot returned to the aircraft carrier, refueled and rearmed, and without taking a rest, immediately took off again in his bomber to sink the last Japanese aircraft carrier. At that time, the Japanese forces had drowned captured U.S. pilots at sea and then assembled a flight squadron for a final stand. Meanwhile, the pilot had already led the bombing squadron to the target location overhead, and Japanese aircraft quickly took off, with a major battle imminent. Soon, both sides were embroiled in a chaotic battle, with bullets streaking through the sky and aircraft being shot down one after another. The pilot had only one target in mind, sinking the last Japanese aircraft carrier. He initiated the dive first and once again sank the final Japanese aircraft carrier through a vertical descent. The Battle of Midway ended with a resounding victory for the U.S. forces, who then gained control of the sea and air. They began bombing Japanese forces stationed on various islands and, after breaking through the Japanese island chain defenses, directed the war toward the Japanese mainland. The Japanese forces gradually marched toward their ultimate defeat in the war.